Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Ethereum Nigeria Bootcamp 2023. Today is our third week, and this is our second lecture for the week. I'm so happy to, of course, continue this learning journey with all of us. So today we are basically going to look at, we are going to continue our decentralized application, but today we are going to actually look at Today, we are actually going to look at some of the protocols that actually utilize decentralized application. And of course, our last lecture for the week, which is always our hands-on rather, we are actually going to integrate with maybe one or two of these protocols. Of course, now we know how to actually use the blockchain with our wallet addresses. So we'll try to actually implement a hands-on on how to interact with some of these protocols. But for today, we are actually going to be looking at some of these protocols. Just a minute, let me try to share my screen. Okay, please acknowledge if you can see my screen. You guys can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay, awesome. So, like I mentioned, today we are going to be looking at decentralized application protocols, basically all that we've been talking about. Remember, from day one, we mentioned smart contracts and their decentralized, distributed ledger nature. And then we moved on to, sorry, that was blockchain. Then we moved on to smart contracts where we talked about terms and agreement and all of that. Then this week we looked at decentralized applications in our first lecture where we talked about how at the core of the apps are smart contracts, of course, also on the blockchain. So today we are just going to continue from our last lecture. We are going to actually look at some of these protocols and what they do. How do they use smart contracts on the blockchain? So of course, we mentioned, we phrased our mind that decentralized applications are computer software that actually run on the blockchain. Of course, they are self-executing, they are immutable, and all of that. And the major difference between the decentralized application and decentralized application like Google, Facebook, Amazon, is that those are central servers, right? So everything is stored on in one place. Maybe sometimes multiple servers, but the parent company is always one, so they can choose to do whatever they like with our data, and we wouldn't know. But decentralized applications, of course, all the information we can verify it, is transparent and is secured, and we decide what data we want to share. So let's look at some of these decentralized applications. The first one, of course, I will want us to look at is Uniswap. Now, Uniswap is more like a decentralized exchange, right? So basically what happens in Uniswap is that you can go to Uniswap and you can swap any ERC20 token, right? You can go to Uniswap and you can swap any ERC token. So basically, it's a decentralized exchange is in a sense that there is no middleman, like we always mention. The decentralized nature of the blockchain eliminates the need for middlemen. And you can actually get your ERC20 token. Now remember, Ether is an ERC20 token. Of course, USDT we have on the Tron blockchain, but on Ethereum blockchain is an ERC20 token. There are lots and lots and lots of ERC20 tokens. And of course, you can go to Uniswap and swap one ERC token for another. So some of the key features, of course, is the automated marker. That what it means generally is that Uniswap doesn't have a third party like we mentioned. It means that the set of smart contracts facilitate the trading. If you look at the Uniswap, remember blockchain is transparent, right? So if you go to the Uniswap protocol And then you go to their GitHub page, right? All the codes for the smart contracts are there. And when you look at it, you see that they have multiple smart contracts calling each other just to make up the Uniswap protocol. So, of course, also another key feature is the liquidity pool. So, most times people talk about liquidity in blockchain. So, liquidity is just like a reserve. Like every bank has a reserve where they keep money. So, on the blockchain, when they say liquidity pool, it's actually a smart contract that holds some amount of money. Generally, this money is being contributed by excuse me, guys. So generally, this money is being contributed by multiple sources, right? So what happens remember Uniswap actually helps us to exchange one ERC20 token for another. So, but what happens is that the one when you have, for instance, let's say USDT, and you want to exchange it for something like Matic or something, or DAI. DAI is also a stable coin. So if you want to exchange it for something like that, of course, when you take your USDT there and deposit it and get DAI, that DAI is coming from somewhere. It's not as if it's been minted to you, right? It was stored, it's coming from somewhere. So basically, this liquidity pool is just like a reserve. Of course, we have what they call liquidity providers. And of course, these liquidity providers are people that they make money off the blockchain by offering their tokens to their protocols like Uniswap. And of course, you know that for every time a swap happens on Uniswap, there is a 0.03% fee. So this fee is what the liquidity providers actually derive for staking, or of course, providing liquidity to Uniswap. Now, the process of providing this liquidity is actually not too complex because you need two tokens, right? So you have to provide two sets of ERC tokens, but it will not be in the same proportion. They have what they call this constant product formula, right? So that you don't deposit too much Ethereum and people are swapping for USDT. At the point, there will be no USDT and there'll still be plenty Ethereum. So they have this constant product formula. It's actually some mathematical calculations, and they have what they call a tick. So the tick is for each value of token, there's a particular equivalent you're supposed to attach, or your second token must fall between a particular some particular digit or numbers, right? It will not be the same. Like, for instance, USDT and Ethereum. So if you are providing liquidity on the Uniswap platform, their tick right now, I'm not sure, but I think it's about 0.0 something. I think I need to confirm that. But basically, what happens is that you have to provide this liquidity at this proportion such that on the Uniswap protocol, it will always be maintained and regulated such that you don't have people depositing too much of Ethereum. Meanwhile, people are trying to swap the same Ethereum for something like USDT. At the point, the USDT will get finished and you will just be left with Ethereum on the blockchain or on the protocol rather. So they have this liquidity pools, and of course, with their constant product formula, they actually regulate how you can provide liquidity. So basically, the Uniswap protocol just it's for it. Remember, it's open source, it's open, so you can make money from it and you can also use it. How can you make money from it? You provide liquidity to the protocol, of course. For every swap that happens within those two coins, which you provided as liquidity, definitely you get a commission for it. So you can always pull out your money whenever you want. So basically, that's how Uniswap works. You create a liquidity pool, and then you earn fees from this your stake in the liquidity. So also for swapping of tokens, like I mentioned, you can swap your tokens, and these tokens, remember, these are terms and these are terms and agreements which are already pre-written on the smart contracts, which you can verify. So you can trust the system that nobody will cheat you. You can get your money whenever you want because there is no in-between man, there's no middleman. It's immutable. It's on the blockchain. So for life, it will be there. Some of the major significance of Uniswap in they say mostly Uniswap is very, very useful for traders and people in the decentralized finance system because people that trade cryptocurrency, right, they need different types of cryptocurrency. Now, a particular centralized exchange like Binance might not offer you all the coins that you need, right? But these coins are out there. So you can then go to a protocol like Uniswap, of course, swap your whatsoever ERC token you have for the one you need. And of course, this is one of the major significance of Uniswap in the blockchain space because it provides that accessibility, of course, for people to actually swap tokens at will, 24/7, 365 days in a year. It gives also global access. It's not limiting, right? So if you're in the US, if you're in India, if you're in Nigeria, all of us are actually using the same Uniswap protocol, right? So there are no limitations. There are no, let's say, like you see, like Google now. So if Google wants to do a particular product, you hear something like Google Nigeria, Google Ghana, Google Kenya, Google US, right? So there is no disintegration or dissemination from Uniswap. Everybody uses the same protocol. So it provides that global access. Billions of people can use it all over the world. And of course, Uniswap, the conception of Uniswap in 2018, I think actually was a major changer in the blockchain space because initially back then, although there were other decentralized exchanges like pancake swaps and all of that, but they weren't as popular, and of course, they did not provide enough features the way Uniswap provided it. So when Uniswap came out, it was actually a major changer in the decentralized finance ecosystem. So another protocol we'll look at, of course, is Aave. Aave is a lending and borrowing protocol. Unlike Uniswap, where you go to Uniswap to actually swap your tokens. In Aave, of course, you can provide liquidity just like Uniswap. But the difference is that here you can provide multiple sets of liquidity like multiple sets of coins or cryptocurrencies, or you can provide a single set like a particular one, USDT or whatsoever. And you also make your profit, of course, every time somebody borrows these coins, of course, they have to pay back, right? So every time they borrow and pay back, you get a commission. And you yourself, you can also go to a platform like Aave. Of course, you can borrow cryptocurrency from Aave, but it's not that easy like that. It's not, for instance, if you want to borrow 100, if you want to borrow, let's say 100 USDT from Aave, you need to have 120 USDT. It's funny, right? But it's just the way they do it. So if you want to borrow 100 USDT, you need to have like 120 USDT in your wallet. Then they can give you the 100 USDT, knowing fully well that if you don't pay back, they can get their money from your 120, which of course you've locked in their smart in their protocol. So basically, Aave is lending and borrowing platform. Where people can actually borrow crypto and also lend crypto by providing liquidity. But then the concept of Aave is quite unique, especially in the decentralized finance space and also for traders because they also offer what they call flash loans. Now, this flash loan is one transaction, but you can borrow as much as you want. But it's one transaction, and in that transaction, as you are borrowing, you have to pay back in that same transaction. Now, this concept might be complex, but mostly people that trade, right? So there's what they call arbitrage. Arbitrage is, for instance, um, let's go back to Uniswap. For instance, you want to swap uh, one coin for another, say Coinbase for Coinbase. Now, there is a fee they keep, right? So this fee normally is just an estimate that okay, this this transaction should be able to, this fee should be able to at least pay for your gas and also pay the liquidity providers. Now, it's not always like although the percentage is fixed, but the fee is not always fixed because it's determined by demand and supply, right? So if the demand for a particular coin is high, that means the fee for that coin will be high, right? So it's always based on demand and supply, but the margin is always very low, right? So this is what they call arbitrage. So arbitrage is people borrowing money. Like for instance, a trader knows is watching, let's say, right now, Bitcoin is about 50,000, I think 50,000 or so, 50,000 dollars. So let's say somebody goes to a platform like Binance and sees that Bitcoin is still selling for like, or let's say goes to Binance and sees that Bitcoin is selling for like 51,000. Or let's not use Bitcoin, can swap it. Goes to Binance, see that let's say something like Ethereum is selling for 2,000, 2,000, about $2,500 right now. Then he comes to Uniswap and sees that Uniswap is actually still exchanging at 2,000, let's say 2,400. Now, what does he do? He goes to Aave and does a flash loan. He can borrow as much as even $1 million, go to Uniswap, buy the coin from Uniswap, or swap the coin from Uniswap, go to Binance, sell it there, make the profit, pay back the loan he took with the interest, and then whatsoever is left is his own. And all of this happens in one transaction. So those are called flash loans. As you go ahead, we'll understand it. So these are some of the ways people actually make a lot of money in the crypto space, but it's risky, right? Because if the transaction fails, you're automatically in debt. So it takes experts to actually do that. But as we step forward and continue, of course, we'll be able to do all of this stuff. And of course, Aave is permissionless, just like Uniswap. Aave is permissionless, meaning that it's borderless. Anybody in the world, anywhere, can actually use the protocol, irrespective of your location or region. So, of course, like I mentioned, Avia offers is a lending and borrowing platform. Of course, if you go to the material that I'll share after the class, of course, each of these protocols, you can go to their websites and verify and check out what they have Uniswap, and all the ones we try to talk about. So the next one we'll look at is OpenSea. Of course, I'm sure most of us are familiar with OpenSea. OpenSea is actually a marketplace for NFTs. Like if you, of course, you've created and deployed your NFTs, you can go to OpenSea to sell them. You can also buy from OpenSea, or you can buy NFTs and you can sell NFTs. So basically, OpenSea is a decentralized application that allows for the buying and selling of NFTs. Of course, it's a diverse marketplace, meaning that unlike yeah, no, not unlike. It's diverse because you have different people. Like, for instance, you can you can deploy your NFT on Polygon, and of course, you can still sell it on OpenSea. You can deploy your project on Ethereum. You can still sell it on OpenSea. So it's kind of diverse. It's interoperable because it allows for various blockchains. Like I mentioned, you can have an NFT from maybe Polygon or Ethereum, as I mentioned, and of course, you can still sell it on OpenSea. And of course, the user interface is quite friendly. It's easy to use, so you can actually easily navigate your way around the protocol, the platform. Basically, the steps are simple. You can go to, I think, OpenSea.io, connect your wallet, of course. Once you connect your wallet, you can explore the marketplace, you can buy NFTs, you can also sell NFTs. So basically, but when buying NFTs on OpenSea, it's always important that you investigate the creators of the project of the NFT, because you don't want to buy something that doesn't have value, right? They can a bad actor might scam you, because on OpenSea you determine how much you want to sell your NFT, right? So a bad actor might just get an NFT that is not worth anything. And since one or two people are new in the space, they wouldn't know. And of course, everything on OpenSea is strictly on Ether. So somebody sells you an NFT that is worthless for like 5 Ether, it will be very annoying. So it's always good to investigate the creators of the project, of course, associated with that NFT, check the authenticity and, of course, the ownership details, of course, of that NFTs. So we'll just move on to the next one. We're trying to be fast so that we can meet up with time. I know that many people, of course, are eager to run away because the Christmas season is already at hand. I noticed because I think our class is dropping, but it's fine, right? It's fine. The important thing is that those who are actually willing to learn, they go a long way, right? So the next protocol we're actually going to look at is what they call Ethereum name service, right? So basically, the long and short of Ethereum name service is that they kind of like take your wallet address and they can convert that to whatsoever you want. A human readable text, like for instance, precious.eth, etete.eth. Excuse. Yeah, sorry about that. So basically, what they do is they take your wallet address, of course, and of course, they can convert it to a human readable text such that if somebody says, send me your wallet address, you don't have to go and copy your wallet address and be pasting it, right? Sometimes people still make mistakes. Even as they paste it, somebody might make a mistake. And this is the blockchain. If you send money to the wrong wallet, it's gone. So you can just have a human readable text, like let's say, like I mentioned earlier, precious.eth, or synergy.eth, such that, and of course, this human readable text, of course, it's exactly your wallet address as long as you have the private key, right? So it's the same wallet address. You can receive transactions, you can send transactions, you can deploy smart contracts, of course, with these Ethereum name services are not just about the wallet addresses also, right? So we have like decentralized storage, of course. Decentralized storage, of course, you will need your URI. So basically, you can convert even your smart contract address to an Ethereum name service so that is human readable, is easy to remember, and of course, you don't need to be copying and pasting your wallet address. So some of the key features of Ethereum name service, of course, is decentralized because it's on the blockchain, right? So it's also human readable, so that it's difficult for a human being to begin to cram OXE, this, that. But it will be easier to remember something like peter.eth, just like a normal website, right? But what the Ethereum name service does is exactly what the domain name service in Web2 does. But the difference is that the Ethereum name service is on the blockchain, right? So it's immutable, it's secured, and of course, it's transparent. So components of this Ethereum name service, of course, like the structure I mentioned, .eth. .eth, of course, is the extension. So you can have your human readable text with that extension, .eth. And of course, you own it. The ownership is yours, right? So basically, once you um, pay for your Ethereum name service, of course, which you can renew based on the number of years you want, but it's relatively cheap, right? So you can do like, I think, about $60 for a whole year, or 10 years rather. I think 10 years or so for $60. So you can actually convert your wallet address to your name so that you use your name. If somebody says, and of course it's unique, so wherever somebody sees your ENS, they definitely know it's associated with you. So it's easier to kind of like somebody sends your wallet address for authentication or confirmation. Of course, you need the services of Oracle, so you can just copy it and paste it on an Explorer, right? So you verify the wallet address. But if somebody sends you an Ethereum name service like peter.eth, it will be unique because it's only one person that would have that, right? Two people cannot have wallet addresses with peter.eth. So it's the blockchain, it's not possible. So if somebody says, okay, my address is peter.eth, You can verify every transaction he makes through that wallet. That of course you can associate that transaction with that person because his ENS is unique and of course it's human readable. So we also have subdomains in the ENS. By subdomains, I mean something like, let's say you have a website, or yeah, you have a website or an e-commerce site, let's say on the blockchain. So let's give our e-commerce site a name. Say, okay, let's use our popular Jumia.eth. That's the ENS of that e-commerce site. But then you can have your subdomain like, let's say pay, like for payments, right? Say somebody buys something, of course, you can have pay Jumia.eth. Of course, on the smart contract, what happens is that it takes that particular fund and it puts it in a different smart contract. Remember, all decentralized applications are just smart contracts, right? With the terms and agreement of the usage written into lines of code. So you can have like pay.jumia.eth, you can have user. So those are what they call subdomains, right? So you can have a domain, and of course you can have a subdomain. Of course, you need your resolver, which is for if you're using it for the first time. Of course, you need a resolver to actually resolve this address to this human readable text. Let's look at one more. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, CryptoKitties. Now, CryptoKitties is actually a game. The blockchain is diverse. The usage is diverse. So we have multiple protocols building a lot of stuff on the blockchain. So this CryptoKitties actually it's a game where you can buy a cat and then your cat you can breed a cat. Basically, what it does is you can buy one of their kitties, their crypto kitties, one or two with different traits, and they are all NFTs on the ERC 721 standard. So you can buy a crypto kitty, let's say one or two, just like buying two animals in your house and they start reproducing. So what happens is when you buy these two crypto kitties, of course, on the Ethereum blockchain, and you breed them. Once you breed them, you are being minted. Of course, remember it's not controlled by anybody; it's a smart contract. You now have a new generation of crypto kitty, like just like having two cats and then they live together and then they give birth, right? So it's kind of like the implementation on the blockchain. So but people make money out of it, right? Because if you buy two crypto kitties with unique traits and of course you breed them, that the new crypto kitty that will be minted to your wallet address, of course, the result of the breeding, it will actually contain different features. And now you now have three crypto kitties, right? So you can actually sell them back, right? So it's a game where people just buy, the idea is just to buy cats, breed them. And when they give birth, that's when you get the new NFTs, the new generation NFTs. You can sell them if you want. Of course, you can sell them on OpenSea. They also have a marketplace on crypto kitties where you can actually sell them. So actually the interesting thing with CryptoKitties is that it was actually the first mainstream deal. That means it was actually the first decentralized application that was actually built on the Ethereum blockchain. That was actually built on the Ethereum blockchain. That was in 2017, but then it was I think it was called ETH Land. I think ETH Land also. Yeah, I think. No. ETH Learn is for Aave, right? Yeah, that's true. Aave was ETH Learn before. But CryptoKitties is actually the first DApp that was built on the Ethereum blockchain, and it's a game, right? So if you go to their site, cryptokitties.io, it's a game. You connect your wallet, just like the same thing we did on every other decentralized protocol we've talked about. Of course, you always connect your wallet. Once you connect your wallet, you can buy your kitty. These kitties are all NFTs, right? They are all NFTs. So you can always go to the marketplace, buy the one you like or the one that has features you like. Of course, they are transferable, right? So you can actually take your CryptoKitty and let's say you and your friend, you buy one, your friend buys one. So you guys can actually, one can send his CryptoKitty to the other person you breed. And then once you breed and you have a new CryptoKitty, you can always sell all of them back. So there are many ways you can actually make money on the blockchain. These are some of them, and these are some of the protocols that actually I'm not using. I was very specific not to use the new protocol. These protocols have been in have existed for a while, so that we stood the test of time. And of course, that's why I shared this particular one because they didn't just come out today; they have been there for a long time. So, of course, there are other decentralized applications that cover many sectors in the blockchain. We have, of course, the decentralized finance applications, which Uniswap and Aave are all Uniswap and Aave are actually the apps for decentralized finance. We also have apps that are built to actually track stuff like Zappa.fi. Those are tracking decentralized apps. We have, of course, the marketplace apps like CryptoKitty, of course. We have Rarible, we have OpenSea. We have a lot of them. So basically, even educational decentralized platforms are coming up on the blockchain, of course, and the games, and of course, the games, people make a lot of money from games because it has to do with NFTs and ownerships, and it's on the blockchain, which makes it secure, you can trust it, and it's transparent, you can verify it. So these are some of the protocols that actually utilize decentralized applications on the blockchain. There are tons and tons and tons of them, and every day we are having new protocols being deployed, being developed, of course, to solve one or two problems using blockchain. So I think this way I would end the class for today. And as always, I'm open to questions. So please, if you have a question, kindly raise your hand, and then of course you can go ahead. Okay, Dean, please go ahead.
Good evening, my
Yeah,
professor.
good evening.
Yeah, thank you so much. It has been a very engaging class. And my question is concerning this ERC 721. Now, um, is it possible that apart from having NFTs, like these crypto kitties that you buy, maybe either a male cat or a female cat, and they begin to breed, is it possible that you you can also like how did I say it now, like borrow your cats for mating, and then you get paid for it, what usually happens in the real world with pets and animals that we read.
Okay, first and foremost, there are no male or female cats. The gender is not specified. They're all called cats, kitties. So, like I said, you can actually, it's transferable. So, meaning you can send it from one wallet to another. So, basically, if you have, like you mentioned, a friend that has a crypto kitty with its own features and traits, okay, that's what makes them unique because no two crypto kitties are the same. There are many of them, there are tons of them, but no two are the same because they are NFTs, right? So each one has a very specific, unique attribute to it. And there are also general attributes, but every CryptoKitty, every NFT is unique in a sense that they are not two the same NFTs. You can't have an NFT that is a duplicate of another NFT. It's not possible, right? So every NFT is unique. So if you have yours with its own unique features, and probably your friend has another one with his own unique features, of course, either he sends his own to your wallet address, or you can send your own to his wallet address and you can breed. And then, of course, there's always what they call the cool time. Like there are some based on their unique features, right? Just the amount of time needed to mint the new NFT to the wallet, which is the next generation NFT, like the next generation kitty, like the newborn baby in quote. So sometimes it could take, there are some that could take like maybe 2 to 3 hours, some almost 5, 6 hours, you understand? Some as much as 11 hours. So it's possible to actually send your crypto kitty to another wallet for breeding, just like in the real world. But they don't have gender, please. All right.
Thank
So,
you so much. That's interesting. Thank you so much.
all right. So, I'm not seeing any hands, which is fine. Okay, Moses, please go ahead.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for the class. I really long class. My question is, how do you create the next and what do you create them as a basis?
Sorry, Moses, I didn't quite get you there.
NFT, how is it created? How do you create them? Is it through graphic creation?
You're asking how NFT is minted. I hear you correctly.
Created. How is it created?
Created.
Yeah, how do you create your own NFT?
Okay, of course, you can create your NFT by writing a smart contract, and of course, it has to follow a certain standard. You deploy it on the blockchain, and you can mint the NFT with a URL. URL is actually where the image, your artwork for the NFT, done usually in a decentralized. So basically, another way to mint to create an NFT, if you don't know how to write code, it's to go and use a no platform like Third Web, of course, or OpenZeppelin, because they already have pre-written and audited NFT token standard. So you can just go there, pick the one that fits you, and then you can just deploy it on the blockchain. I don't know if I answered it.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course, you can always make reference to our week 2 lecture. All the videos are on YouTube, of course, Ethereum Nigeria on YouTube. You can find all the lectures there, so you can always make reference to that. Okay, so does anyone have any other question? Okay, so in the absence of question, remember, guys, tomorrow is Thursday, and we'll be having another Twitter space tomorrow. Of course, our Twitter space are always engaging and very educative and interactive. So we are going to bring in some other experts from some other protocols to actually talk to us and, of course, engage us on trends in the blockchain space. Like I always advise us to always come prepared, come with your questions, come prepared. Even if your question is not related to what they are talking about or what we are discussing, but you need clarification on concepts on the blockchain. Maybe you hear something, right? It's always good to confirm. So you can always ask from the experts so that they explain it better to you. You have the opportunity to actually ask this expert, and trust me, these guys are always busy, right? So getting them to even make time for the space is a sacrifice they are making on their own part. And of course, this is beneficial to all of us. And of course, especially those of us that are just onboarding onto the blockchain space. This opportunity to actually hear from experts in the industry, people who work with the blockchain on a daily basis. So whatsoever confusion you might have on the blockchain, of course, it will be verified. And of course, we encourage us to join the Twitter space. Of course, invite your friend also to join, because the idea or the aim is to actually educate all of us and give us a broader what time is the Twitter space? Okay, the Twitter space is for 7:30 tomorrow. And of course, on the Telegram group, we are actually going to drop the link to the space. We encourage us to share the link, of course, invite our friends, and also attend the space, because it's one of a kind. These are experts in the field, so you wouldn't want to miss that. So, in the absence of, yes, of course, tomorrow, 7:30, we have the founder and CEO of Blockverse. Of course, we also have the founder of Web3 Africa and the CTO for Web3 Bridge. Of course, they'll all be speakers tomorrow. So, do well to make time for it. Invite your friends. If possible, you can gather with one or two people to attend the space. It will be nice. Of course, come with your questions also. We're going to drop the link to the space in the group, of course, for everyone to have access to it. So I'm seeing some messages. Just look at it. Moses says, I'm not on Telegram. Okay. All right, Moses. I'll drop the Telegram link on the group for those of us that are not on the Telegram. So I'll just type it out in the group. So, but you can always refer to your email, because I think more than once this links to all our social media handles have been, of course, our community have been shared. But just in case you missed it, you can follow us on Twitter at Ethereum Nigeria, LinkedIn at Ethereum Nigeria, of course, Medium at Ethereum Nigeria, and of course, the link to the Telegram group I just dropped on the group chat, on the call chat. Yes, the flyer will be shared with the link. The flyer will be shared with the link on the Telegram group. Yes, please. Yes, all right, guys. Remember the time is 7:30 tomorrow, Thursday, 21st of December. Do well to make time to attend the Twitter space. And of course, we encourage you to invite someone to also share in this wealth of knowledge. In the absence of any question, I think we'll call it a day for today's class. The assignment for today's class, of course, will be dropped on the classroom announcement board. Precious and I think Nkechukwu, I think congratulations for winning our bounty last week. Of course, there will also always be a bounty this week. So please do well to, of course, you know the drill. Retweet our posts, make a comment about it, quote it, spread the word, especially about our Twitter space. So you can go to Twitter at Ethereum Nigeria, of course, try to quote our post and, of course, retweet and all of that. And you stand a chance, of course, to climb up on the ladder board on the bounty for the week. So that's that from me, guys, and have a great time. Good night, guys.
Very much.